Now, known quite well for his off-the-cuff remarks, Congress General Secretary Digvijaya Singh has done it once again. In a shocking statement, Singh said that it is against political ethics to attack relatives of politicians, thereby highlighting a sort of unofficial code of conduct between the netas. Now, Digvijaya Singh's latest attack was directed at newly turned politician Arvind Kejriwal for accusing Sonia Gandhi's son-in-law of being involved in a land scam. Now, in what seems apparent and clear case of you scratch my back and I will scratch yours, Digvijaya Singh spoke at of an unofficial understanding between politicians that their kin are to be left alone. He further added that he or his party had never attacked relatives of L.K. Advani or Atal Bihari Vajpayee, despite having sufficient evidence against them. Now, the General Secretary's bizarre statement begs the question that we ask: does Indian politics work on you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours principle? We throw our phone lines open today. We leave it to our viewers to tell us what they think and express their views and use this as a platform. Do call us. Our numbers are flashing on our television screen. Do call us at 0120-480-7273. We also have a panel with us who are going to be discussing this comment made by Mr. Digvijaya Singh. We have former IAS officer joining us from Pune, Mr. Arun Bhatia. Mr. Bhatia, thank you for being with us. Once again, let's remind our viewers, our caller lines are open. We're going to be taking comments, questions of what our viewers want to express. Do use this as a platform today to air your voice. Now, Digvijaya Singh caused an uproar today by a controversial comment. Known for his off-the-cuff remarks, Congress General Secretary Digvijaya Singh has done it once again. In a shocking statement, Singh said that it is against political ethics to attack relatives of politicians, thereby highlighting a sort of unofficial code between our politicians, between our netas. Singh's latest attack was directed at newly turned politician Arvind Kejriwal for accusing Sonia Gandhi's son-in-law of being involved in a land scam. Now, in what seems to be clear case of you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours, Digvijaya Singh spoke of an unofficial understanding between politicians that their kin are to be left alone. He further added that he or his party had never attacked relatives of L.K. Advani or Atal Bihari Vajpayee despite having sufficient evidence against them. Now, the General Secretary's bizarre statement begs us to question: does Indian politics work on you scratch my back and I will scratch yours principle? Well, we leave it for our viewers to decide. Do express your views. We have thrown open our caller lines. We are flashing our telephone number 0120-480-7273. Do call us, express your views, ask questions. We also have a panel with us to discuss this outrageous comment by Congress General Secretary. In the studio with us is Mr. Manoj Joshi, Dr. Manoj Joshi, comments editor of a sister concern made today. We also have from Pune, Arun Bhatia, former IAS officer. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Dr. Joshi, let me come to you first on this. Now, Digvijaya Singh says against political ethics, that targeting families of politicians is against political ethics. The question that we ask is it ethical when corruption is staring you in the face and you ignore it?
Well, obviously he thinks it's some kind of political chivalry, but I don't think the people would be very amused by that, because we know for a fact that a lot of the corruption that takes place is through relatives. So this idea that you don't attack relatives is somewhat strange, and I'm really surprised that someone like Mr. Digvijaya Singh has put it forward.
Let's cut across to Mr. Bhatia, who's joining us from Pune, former IAS officer. Mr. Bhatia, unofficial code of conduct between netas, between our politicians. If one may say, it is rather reminiscent of all the Godfather films that we've watched. There was a mafia-so code of conduct saying keep away from the family, even though what they do doesn't matter.
Yes, ma'am. In a country where there is so much black money, so much corruption, and so much benami wealth, obviously the politician has to conceal this ill-gotten black wealth and put it in the names of his relations, his friends, and this is happening all the time. It's been happening for years. So if you leave the friends and relations out of the investigation of disproportionate assets, you are really not handling the problem. And this is a well-known fact. I mean, it doesn't need to be explained. And assets as such, in any democracy, is not a private matter, it's a public matter. Asset ownership, disproportionate assets, because we want to find out, has tax been evaded, has corruption taken place, has money meant for roads and dams gone into the pockets of private politicians and private people. And when the son-in-law of the most powerful person in the country suddenly becomes rich, it is a matter of public investigation. There's nothing private about it.
And that's the question that we throw to the public there, to our viewers, what they think. Our caller lines are open. You too can call us, express your views on what you make of the comment of the Congress General Secretary Digvijaya Singh. Let's also right now go back to Dr. Joshi, who's in the studio with us. Dr. Joshi, Digvijaya Singh admitted that they had enough proof against the son-in-law of Mr. Vajpayee. They never said anything about L.K. Advani's daughter and his children there. So does that mean that they were in the know? And he said they had enough proof. So that means they were in the know that there was corruption involved. So can't they be charged of condoning corruption?
I think so. I think, this is the very obvious issue there. And I think Mr. Bhatia has rightly pointed out that if you actually look at the politicians and you look at their declarations before the elections, etc., they seem to be very humble figures. Some of them don't have cars. Some of them don't have any known sources of income. And yet all of them live very comfortable lives and participate in politics, which is not a cheap profession, which is an expensive profession. So I definitely think that there is an issue here that if you knew about Mr. Vajpayee's relatives, if you knew about Mr. Advani's relatives, it was your duty as a citizen, meaning it is also your ethical duty as a politician. Right. If you claim that you are running a government and some crime has been, some crime has been committed, and you are not revealing it because it happens to be a relative of a politician, what kind of nonsense is Mr.
Hold on to that thought, Dr. Joshi, because we've thrown our caller lines open. We already have a caller from Gurgaon. Mr. Kataria joins us. Mr. Kataria, go ahead, air your views. Mr. Kataria, can you hear us? All right, we seem to have lost Mr. Kataria from Gurgaon, but our caller lines are ringing. We have a caller from Bangalore. Mr. Venkat Raman joins us. Mr. Venkat Raman, go ahead, use this as a platform today, air your views.
Yeah, good evening, madam. I am seeing your headlines. I am following it very, very closely. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go on, sir.
Yeah, so I'm watching your headlines today on a regular basis. What I think is that all the Congress politicians have become senile. They don't know what they are talking and what they are commenting. They have all become senile.
We get it, sir. We get it. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you joining us today and expressing your views. Our caller lines are open. We urge our viewers to pick up the phone and call us. There are larger questions to be posed here. And let's cut across to Mr. Arun Bhatia, who's joining us from Pune. He's a former IAS officer. Very unsettling questions that come to the fore, Mr. Bhatia, at this point in time. It seems there's been a cozy relationship all along in which our political system has flourished, wherein each player is assured that even though his family might be corrupt, it will never be touched.
Yeah. It just shows how the country is being run and has been run for the past half century, that you now have a perverted ethic which says it's my duty to protect your corrupt wife, it's my duty to protect your corrupt mother-in-law. And the guy is saying it in public. This is actually offensive. On this statement itself, he should resign.
You're right there, and if our viewers are affronted by what they have heard Digvijaya Singh say, then do take the time and pick up the phone and call us. We have a viewer from Bangalore, Narendran, joins us at this point of time. Sir, go ahead.
Yeah, there is the most ridiculous statement made by Mr. Digvijaya Singh. Hello?
Go ahead, go ahead.
The second point is, just because both the Congress and the BJP did not, followed this kind of a tu my principle, the likes of Arvind Kejriwal have come up. Now it's Mr. Kejriwal who exposed Mr. Vadra so far. So it's very simple, if both the BJP and Congress don't modernize themselves, they're going to be out of the picture.
All right, we have Jagan Mohan from Hyderabad there. Jagan Mohan, go ahead. All right, we seem to have Jagan Mohan. Can you hear us?
Yeah. Hello.
Go ahead,
yes,
air your views. Air your views, Jagan Mohan.
Yeah, we should immediately arrest Mr. Digvijaya Singh and let him make him reveal all the misdeeds done by BJP people. If he knows that and he is keeping it secret, then he is going against the law.
You're right there, and that's the question that we're going to pose to our panel who are with us right now. Dr. Joshi, let me bring you again. We started this this show with the question that he said he had enough evidence. They said Congress had enough evidence against relatives of other party persons. With what our viewers said, do you not think that it is actually condoning corruption there? It was right under their noses and they chose to ignore it?
Well, one is that, and second is, you see, they are after all the government of the day. They have access to the investigative machinery, and it was their bounden duty. I'm saying they have now took over government in 2004, and now we are in 2012. So many 8 years have passed. Surely some kind of investigation should have taken place if, as Mr. Digvijaya Singh claims, they had the evidence. Presumably they had it 4, 5, 6 years ago. That means they have been doing nothing with that evidence, and they have decided to write their own laws. Meaning this seems to be, this country has certain laws, but Mr. Digvijaya Singh and the Congress party have decided that there are a separate set of laws which apply to
an
the
unwritten
politicians
code
of
of conduct. An unwritten code of conduct. Our next viewer, Mr. Chopra, joins us on the phone line. Mr. Chopra, do you, as a citizen of the country, feel affronted by the fact that there has always been a code of conduct between our politicians where it basically comes down to you scratch my back, I will scratch yours?
Hello.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, see, I am surprised that Digvijaya Singh is coming out with this strange and downright stupid idea. I think he should go and climb a gum tree and stay on top of it if India has to improve. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. We also have another caller from Bangalore. Narsimhan joins us. Narsimhan, use this as a platform today. Air your views.
Hello. See, I have been following the interview and comments on the subject. I am surprised that Digvijaya Singh has been so downright stupid in making that kind of a statement that we should not go into the question of the relatives of political families. Now, this is very strange because that's the only way these people salt away their ill-gotten wealth from the nation's funds.
Right. Thank you, Narsimhan, for joining us. Clearly, a lot of questions being put forth there by our viewers. Let's bring in Arun Bhatia, former IS officer who's with us on the show from Pune. Sir, with all that you have heard, everybody shocked, surprised with what of course Digvijaya Singh said, but more on that, everybody lauding the likes of Arvind Kejriwal because he clearly has touched the holy grail. Do you now see the rules of the game changing from here on?
You mean in terms of more exposure of corruption, more public awareness, and agencies taking action against corrupt people? Yes. Yes, that will happen. That is the vision one has for the future. Thank God for that. But I just want to say that Digvijaya Singh, it's not just a question of his duty to expose the corruption of the politicians of the other party. If he had knowledge of any criminal activity of those politicians or their relatives, then as a member of the government in power, he should have ordered an investigation. If he keeps it in his tummy and doesn't bring it out, this is criminal conspiracy. It's a criminal offense. And he should be made answerable for this, that why was no investigation ordered? Forget about exposing it on TV, okay, good. But why have you not ordered an investigation?
Exactly. Was it right under your nose?
And why are people like Advani silent? Shouldn't they sue for defamation?
We understand, sir, and we're going to be putting those questions across. We are going to be putting those questions across. For now, Arun Bhatia, thank you for joining us. A closing comment from Dr. Joshi there. Dr. Joshi, do you now think somewhere down the line the rules of the games are changing? We heard Arvind Kejriwal, who is now a politician, going out openly attacking Mr. Vadra. Do you think from here on it's not the holy grail anymore, where especially our politicians and their relatives are concerned?
I certainly think so. I think if there is one positive that comes out of this otherwise very gloomy situation that we have been in, all these charges of corruption, it is that the system, the society is at least trying to clean up the system now. Whether or not we are successful, I can't say, but a tremendous amount of effort is being made, and now new rules are being written on this. Let's see where it goes.
And we, of course, will be following in on that. For now, gentlemen, Arun Bhatia, former IS officer from Pune, and Dr. Joshi, Commons editor of our sister concern Mail Today. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us.